scout ship Drellin floated just outside the border of human space. Inside, the crew was silent. Even the usual humming of machines seemed too loud today. No one had entered this part of the galaxy for over 300 years. Captain Veeler, a tall alien, with silver skin and black eyes, stood in front of the main screen. Begin scans. Lieutenant Shar touched the controls. No signals, no ships, no satellites, nothing. Veeler frowned. This was once the most active zone in the galaxy. Earth sent hundreds of ships, built spaceports, even fought wars. Now, empty. The crew looked at each other. Most of them had never met a human. The stories were strange. Some called humans dangerous. Others said they were clever and kind. But everyone agreed on one thing. Humans disappeared without warning. That was 312 years ago. The hook. Something was waiting as. The ship crossed the border. Lights on the screen flickered. Shar leaned forward. Captain, I'm picking up ... debris. Lots of it. Location, Veeler asked. Sector 9 just ahead? Looks like a ship was destroyed recently. Veeler's eyes narrowed. Recently? Are you sure? Shar nodded. Yes. Sir, radiation levels are fresh. Maybe days old. The Drellin moved closer. A large field of twisted metal came into view. The crew gasped. It was not just any ship, it was a Xandari warship. It's one of the strongest in the galaxy. Who could destroy a Xandari ship like this? Whispered pilot Runo. Humans? Someone asked quietly. Impossible, Veeler said. Humans are gone. No one answered him. The wreckage, they sent out a small drone. The drone floated through the wreckage, taking images. The ship had been torn apart. Something had cut through the armor like paper. There's a strange pattern burned into the metal, Shar reported, zooming in. The screen, they saw Itamar carved deep into the side of the broken ship. It was a flag, an old Earth flag. Veeler stared at it. Is this real? Is it human? Yes, sir, Shar confirmed. And there's more. I found something else. Some kind of data beacon still active. Play it, Veeler ordered. A voice came through. It was human, calm, cold. This is your only warning. Do not enter deeper into human space. The message repeated, over and over. The fear sets in the crew was quiet now. No one spoke. The only sound was the repeating warning. Veeler finally said, they want us to stay away. But if they're alive, why hide for 300 years? Runo asked. XR added, and why leave a warning on a destroyed ship? Did they do this? One knew the answer, then the screen blinked again. New signal detected, Shar said quickly. It's coming from deep inside human space. Can we trace it? Veeler asked. Yes, but it's strange. The signal is old-style human code, but altered, faster, more advanced. Translate. Shar worked fast. His face went pale. It's a countdown. 72 hours. To what? Veeler asked. I don't know. Final decision. Captain Veeler looked at his crew. Came to find out what happened to humans. We've seen enough to know they're not extinct. They're hiding, watching, maybe stronger than before. And if we continue? Shar asked. Veeler looked out at the stars. Then we'll see what happens when someone ignores a human warning. He turned to the pilot. Take us forward. Drellin moved deeper into human space. Behind them, the wreckage floated in silence. And far ahead, something unseen was watching. The scout ship Drellin floated above the destroyed Xandari warship. Sparks still blinked from the wreckage, drifting slowly through space like dying fireflies. Inside the Drellin, the air was cold and tense. Captain Veeler stood at the center of the control room, his eyes fixed on the large viewing screen. Send in a boarding team, he ordered. Lieutenant Shar hesitated. Sir, it could be a trap. It could be the only clue we get, Veeler replied. Go. Into the dead ship, a small team of 5 left the Drellin in armored suits, moving through space toward the wreck. Their lights swept across twisted metal, shattered walls, and floating debris. Commander Lyra. The team leader spoke through the comms. We're inside. No life signs. Air is gone. But this wasn't a normal explosion. Something cut clean through the hole. What kind of weapon can do that? Asked a crew member. I don't know, Lyra said. I've never seen damage like this. They moved deeper into the ship. One wall was melted in strange shapes, almost like claws. But no life form was found. Only shadows, silence, and something. Worse, fear. The symbol near the ship's control room. Lyra found something strange. There's writing here, she said. It's burned into the floor. The camera on her helmet showed the image. The old Earth flag again, but this time under it, a single word. Remember? Is this a message? Someone asked. Or a warning, said Lyra. As they moved farther, their suit lights flickered. Static filled their comms. Signal breaking. Zar's voice cracked. Do you read? Lyra looked around. Something's interfering. We need to wait. I hear something. We all stopped. It was faint, a whisper, but not from. The comms from inside the ship. The whisper Lyra turned toward a dark hallway. Someone's speaking. The team listened. At first, it sounded like static. Then they heard it clearly. Go back. Go back. Go back. The same words. Repeated, soft and distant. Who's saying that? One of the crew whispered. Then the voice stopped, and the hallway lights. Long dead turned on one by one. Click, click, click. A slow path of lights leading deeper into the wreckage. Nope, I don't like this, one team member muttered. But Lyra followed the lights. At the end of the hall, a door stood open. Inside, a small beacon pulsed with blue light. The data core back on the Drellin, Shar cheered as the signal cleared. We have them again? Captain Viller leaned forward.
Out.
Lyra's voice came in, calm but tense. We found a hidden data core. Looks human, but it's been upgraded. I'm bringing it back. Vilar nodded. Be careful. Return immediately. Minutes later, the team was back on the Drellin. Engineers carefully connected the data core to an isolated system. No risk of hacking? Vilar asked. Completely separate from our main network. Shar confirmed. They powered it up. A hologram appeared. Not a person, just code. Symbols, lines, then
Voice.
The second warning it was the same calm human voice from the first beacon. You were warned once. This is your second and final warning. Vilar leaned in. Who are you? This is not your space. It is protected. Watched. We did not disappear. We prepared. Prepared for what? Vilar asked. For anyone foolish enough to come looking? Then the hologram changed. It showed images, planets turning dark, ships being torn apart by invisible forces, stars collapsing too quickly. The crew watched in horror. This can't be real, Shar said. It's real, Vilar replied softly. Or it's a threat meant to keep us out. The debate the crew gathered in the main hall. We can't continue, one officer said. This is too dangerous. But we're already here, another replied. We've found proof that humans are still alive. This is historic. It warned us, someone added. Twice. Vilar raised a hand. Enough. I understand the fear. But fear doesn't answer questions. Came for the truth. We go forward. He looked at the screen showing the map of human space. A new signal had appeared. An automated beacon much farther inside. Plot course to the new signal, Vilar said. Final moments of Part 2 AS. The Drellin turned and began to move. Shar noticed. Something strange, Captain. The data core? It's still active. They looked back. The screen lit up with a new message. You still don't understand. This is not a warning. It's a test. The lights dimmed. The engines trembled. Had found them, and it was coming. The scout ship Drellin moved slowly through the edge of human space. Everyone on board felt the change less like exploring, more like being watched. No ships followed them. No enemies appeared. But the silence itself was loud. Captain Vilar sat in the command chair, thinking deeply. The two warnings, the destroyed Zandari warship. The message saying this is a test, none of it made sense. Captain, Lieutenant Shar said, "We found something." Veeler stood quickly. "What is it?" "It's a signal. It's very far ahead, deep in the black zone." The black zone was a dead area in space. No light, no stars, no planets. Ships avoided it because sensors didn't work well there. People said strange things happened inside, but that's exactly where the signal was coming from. "What kind of signal?" Veeler asked. "Old human frequency," Shar replied, "but it's been changed. The code moves faster, almost alive." "Can we translate it?" Shar nodded slowly. "I already did." He pushed a button, and a robotic voice echoed in the room. "You entered. You watched."
Now we respond.
After that, the signal became numbers. A countdown. "The countdown begins, 72 hours remaining." The voice said. The crew stared at each other. "What happens in 72 hours?" asked Pilot. "Are you know?" No one answered then. Without warning, the countdown jumped. 36 hours remaining. "What?" Filler asked. "It skipped time?" "Yes," Shar said. "And look, energy levels are rising from the black zone. Something is waking up." Approaching the darkness, as Drellin moved closer, stars vanished behind thick black clouds of unknown space dust. Lights on the ship flickered. Even gravity felt strange, like space was bending. "Readings are off the charts," Shar said. "Nothing here should be alive, but something is moving." Captain Valere looked through the screen in the middle of the dark zone. They saw it. A black sphere floating silent, perfectly smooth. The signal came from inside it. The sphere sent a probe. Valere said. A small probe launched from the ship and flew toward the black sphere. As it got close, the sphere opened just for a second and swallowed the probe whole. The screen turned to static. "It took it," Shar whispered, like it was hungry.
Aye.
The countdown voice returned. 12 hours remaining. The decision, the crew gathered in the war room. Some wanted to turn back. Others wanted to fire at the sphere. Biller said nothing for a long time. Finally, he spoke. "Everything we've seen, the destroyed warship, the messages, the childlike voice, they all led here." "What do you think it is?" Lyra asked. "I think it's a door," Veeler said. "I think the test is about to begin." "But a test for what?" someone asked. Veeler turned to the screen. "For the more for us." The sphere opens as the countdown reached its final hour. The sphere pulsed with light. It opened not violently, but gently. Inside was not a machine, not a weapon, but a structure massive, floating, and covered in glowing lines like veins. It looked almost biological. "Scan it," Velar ordered. Shar tried. "Sir, it's not made of any known material. It's alive." Suddenly their systems went offline. The lights shut down. All they could hear was the voice again. "You were curious. Now you will know." A bright beam hit the Drellin. No one felt pain. No damage appeared. But every screen filled with a new message. "Remember what you feared. And now imagine it evolved." Final Shoxer's voice shook. "Captain, I think it read our memories. It knows who we are." "Is it trying to speak to us?" Runo asked. "No," Viller whispered. "It's showing us something." Images flooded the ship. A star exploding. Planet turning to dust. Ships human, ships fighting alone against unknown monsters. And then silence. Followed by something impossible. Earth, glowing like a star, changing shape. Becoming something else. The end of part 3. The ship's lights came back on. The sphere closed. The countdown reached 0. Then one final message. "This was your last safe moment. Now we begin." And with that, the sphere moved for the first time, not toward them, but toward the center of the galaxy, and behind it. Something massive was waking up. The Drellin floated at the edge of the black zone. Behind them, the black sphere was gone. It had moved deeper into human space, faster than any known ship. Captain Viller stood at the viewing window. "Silent, sir," Shar said softly. "Should we follow it?" Viller didn't answer right away. His mind raced with everything they had. Scene messages, countdowns, warnings, and now, impossible sphere. He finally spoke. We came for the truth. We keep going. First signs, Zazdrellin pushed forward. A strange fog appeared in space, dark blue mist that moved like waves, even though there was no wind in space. Are you no frowned at the readings? That's not fog. It's metal particles. Millions of them. The fog cleared, and every person on board froze. Before them stretched. It's a massive fleet of ships, thousands of them. Old Earth designs, some over 300 years old, others completely new. Some were battle damaged, some looked untouched. But all of them were completely silent. No engines, no lights, no life signs. They just floated there. Like ghosts? The ghost fleet there blocking the path, Shar said. We can't go around. They stretch across the entire sector. Try to contact them, Velor said. Shar opened all channels. No answer. We're being scanned, Runo said suddenly. Every ship is scanning us. At the same time. Defensive shields up, Velor ordered. The ships didn't move. They just stared. A strange movement for 10 minutes. Nothing happened then, slowly. The fleet moved, but not to attack. They shifted, turning in perfect silence, and opened a path just wide enough for Drillin to pass through. They want us to continue, Lyra whispered. Or they want to trap us, Shar replied. Velar's voice was calm. Either way, they expect us to follow. Let's not disappoint them. The Drillon moved forward through the middle of the ghost fleet as they passed. As a crew member felt it like being watched by thousands of invisible eyes. Inside, the path inside of the path was quiet. Too quiet, Shar stared at the scans. I'm getting strange energy readings from each ship. They're not empty. Not exactly. Something is inside them, but it's not alive. What do you mean? Velar asked. I don't know. It's like code. Each ship holds a piece of something. A mind. A pattern. Lyra stood near the window watching the silent ships drift past. What if these ships are not just machines? What if they're part of something bigger? Like what? Runo asked. She turned, her face pale, like a body, a brain, a weapon. A message appears suddenly. All the screens on the Drellin turned black. A voice played, this time not robotic, not cold. It was human, but too calm, too perfect. You entered. Without permission. You saw, without understanding. Survived. That means you passed the first test. The crew stood still. Now you must choose. Go deeper and see what we became. Or turn back and forget what you saw. Shar whispered. Are they giving us a choice? Then the screen showed 2 arrows. One pointed back toward Union space. The other pointed forward into the unknown. The captain's choice, Velar looked at his crew. No one will blame us for turning around, he said. We're never supposed to go this far. But if we leave, Lyra asked, will we ever get this chance again? Shar added. If we turn back, they may erase everything. Our scans, our memories, maybe even us. Velar looked at the forward arrow. He felt no fear, only curiosity. Take us forward. The Ghost Fleet reacts the moment they moved. Every ship in the Ghost Fleet lit up, not with weapons, but with blue light like veins glowing under skin. They began to pulse together, in perfect rhythm. The Drellin passed fully through the final row of ships, and as soon as it did, all the ghost ships shut down again. Dead, silent, cold. The path behind them disappeared. No way back now, only forward, final, moments of part 4 ahead of them. Something appeared in the distance. It was not a ship, it was a planet. But not on any map. No records, no signals. And yet, scans showed it was full of life, a hidden world, a forgotten world. Shar looked at the readings and whispered, this planet, it's not natural. It was built. Velar stared ahead, and we found what's left of humanity. The scout ship Drellin floated quietly above a strange world. No one spoke. Below them was a planet green. It's glowing and full of life, but it wasn't on any map. The Galactic Union never found it. It didn't even have a name. and yet looked more alive than any place they had seen before. Captain Shar said slowly, "This world has atmosphere, oceans, plants, heat, everything." Velor stared out the viewing window, but no cities. No signs of machines, nothing man-made. Signals either, Shar added, just one very old Earth beacon. "Can you play it?" Shar nodded and activated the message. "This is Station Econine. Earth has fallen. The last phase has begun. This planet is no longer ours. A world built in secret, the Drellin entered orbit. Drones flew down, scanning the surface. Forests stretched. Across most of the land, strange mountains glowed faint blue at night. There were rivers, clouds, storms, but no people, and yet there were life signs. Many Villars studied the scans. I see heat signatures, movement, but no human shapes. No buildings. It's like the planet is alive but hiding everything." Runo pointed at one large forest. "The signal is coming from there. The beacon is still active." Velar turned to the crew. "Prepare a landing team." Landing on the forbidden planet, the shuttle broke through the clouds and landed in a large green valley. Trees stood hundreds of meters tall. The air smelled fresh, cleaner than any other planet the team had visited. Commander Lyra led the way. With two others, her boots crunched on soft moss. Birds sang overhead. Somewhere far away, something howled. "This world doesn't feel abandoned," she said. "It feels like it's watching us." The team followed the signal. It's deeper into the woods. Then they found it. An old Earth beacon half, covered in vines, still blinking a soft red light. It had been here for centuries. The voice in the forest, Lyra, touched the beacon. Suddenly the lights on their suits flickered. Static crackled in their ears. A voice came through. "You should not have come." The voice was soft, childlike, but layered almost like three people speaking at once. The team froze. "Identify yourself," Lyra said. No answer. Then branches cracked. They turned and saw her. A human child stood near the trees. She had pale skin, glowing blue eyes, and wore no shoes. Her hair floated slightly like underwater. "Hello," she said. "You're not from here." The child back on the Drellin, Captain Violaire stared at the screen. "A child?" Exermed in the video feed. "Her body is human, but her brain activity is impossible. It's like she's thinking in 10 directions at once." The child looked directly at Lyra's helmet camera. "You don't understand what this place is," she said. "It's not a planet. It's a vault. A memory. A seed." Lyra stepped forward. "Are you human?" The girl smiled almost sadly. "I used to be. So did the others." "Others?" Lyra asked. The girl pointed at the ground. "They're here." Buried truth suddenly. The earth shook. A hill nearby cracked open. Bones spilled out. Hundreds of them. Human bones. Lyra gasped. "They came back here," the girl said softly. "But they were too late." She turned toward the trees. They tried to change, to grow. But the war had already damaged them. This world became their last home, their last experiment. Lyra asked, "The girls?" Face darkened. "It didn't die," she whispered. "It evolved." Warning from the past back on the ship, Shar picked up something. "Captain, a hidden message is being transmitted from the beacon." Velar leaned in. "Play it. To whoever finds this, we failed. Earth is no longer human. The ones who stayed became something else. Smarter, stronger, stranger. They are not cruel, but they are no longer like us." Then the message ended. Viller looked out the window at the strange planet. "They're warning us," he said. "Or inviting us," Shar replied. Final moments of Part 5. Lyra looked at the girl. "What do you want us to do?" she asked. The child blinked slowly. "That depends on your next question." "What question?" The girl stepped forward. Her eyes glowed brighter. "Do you want to meet what Earth has become?" Behind her, the forest shifted. Trees bent away. A path formed, leading toward a glowing mountain. The girl whispered, "Follow me." The girl walked ahead, barefoot and calm, as the crew followed through the glowing forest. Lyra, Shar, and the others said nothing. The air was warm, but a strange feeling pressed on them, like the trees were listening, like the wind itself carried memories. They reached the mountain. At its base was a round stone door covered in symbols. The girl placed her hand on it. Opened inside. The air was cold, dark, and full of whispers. A room full of memory, the crew entered a massive underground chamber. The walls shimmered with light. Shapes moved inside the stone, images of old battles, broken cities, stars collapsing. "What is this place?" Lyra asked. "A vault," the girl said. "Memory chamber." Shar scanned the walls. "Captain Veeler, you're going to want to see this." On the screen back aboard the Drellin, they saw it. Earth's last war. The war begins. The memory showed human ships rising from Earth, millions of them. They looked outdated at first. But then new ships joined, sleek, powerful, impossible. Enemies arrived from every direction, creatures with black energy, machines that consumed planets, even intelligent diseases that melted minds. They all came for Earth, and Earth fought back, alone with fury, with silence, with something no one understood. The final weapon, as the images moved faster. The Watcher saw Earth release something new, a final weapon, not made of metal or fire. It was a network of minds, millions of humans linked together, thinking as one, fighting as one. They called it the Merge, the girl said softly. It was their last plan, a way to survive when weapons were not enough. Lyra's eyes widened. It became a hive. "No," the girl replied. "They became a mind that could learn, evolve, and remember forever. Earth falls and rise. The war ended. The last enemy fell. But Earth didn't celebrate. It went quiet. Ships stopped sending messages. Cities powered down. The people disappeared. But something else remained. Something that watched from behind the silence. Earth didn't fall," the girl said. "It transformed. The humans who stayed behind. They stopped being only human." Shar looked at the memory wall. "So what are they now?" The girl looked at him. "You'll see." Truth from the past, the memory chamber showed one final message. A human commander stood in front of a camera. He looked tired, damaged but proud. "To whoever finds this, we didn't vanish. We became something you're not ready to meet. So we waited. If you're seeing this, then you've come far. It's far enough to be tested. But the final question is not what we became. The question is, are you ready to understand it?" Then the screen went dark. A new Earth back on the Drellin. Captain Veeler stood in silence. "This wasn't just survival," he said. "It was evolution." Shar nodded. "And now they're watching us. To see if we're worthy to know them." Runo asked, "What if we're not?" Veeler looked out the window at the stars. "Then they'll end us quietly, just like they ended the last threat." Final moments of Part 6 on the planet below, the girl led the crew up the glowing mountain. The top was a second vault, this one made of light, not stone. Inside was something impossible. Not a person, not a machine, but a presence. It filled the air, entered their minds, and spoke without words. A shared thought passed through every one of them. "You have seen the past. Now meet the future." Behind the light, something moved, the next stage of humanity, and it had been waiting. The crew stood frozen inside the chamber of light. Nothing attacked them, no weapons fired. And yet, every person felt pressure in their minds, like thoughts not their own were moving through their heads. Calm, steady, watching. Lyra looked around. "Is it speaking?" "No," Shar whispered. "It's thinking at us." A soft hum filled the air. The walls of light shifted, showing more images not of war, but of life. Human life. But different. The new humans, they saw humans walking without speaking, connected by glowing threads of energy. Their eyes shined. Their hands moved in perfect sync. One human lifted a rock without touching it, pure thought. Another healed a deep wound. In seconds, using energy pulled from the air. They don't use machines anymore, Shar said slowly. They are the machines now. Veeler's voice was quiet. This is not evolution by technology. This is evolution by choice. The child guide appeared beside them again. They stopped building cities, she said. They started building minds. Together. A hidden history, the child walked to the center of the chamber and touched the floor. The light above changed. Now it showed scenes from across the galaxy war's disasters. Alien empires rising and falling. You thought Earth was silent, the girl said. But we watched everything. Lyra turned. You've been watching us for 300 years? The girl nodded. Longer. I only noticed the silence 300 years ago. Veeler stepped forward. Why didn't you stop the wars? Or help? The child looked at him, eyes glowing. Would you help a fire that needs to burn itself out? The true purpose? A new vision appeared. Earth now, glowing. It's no longer blue and green, but white-hot with power sat in space. Not hidden, just unreadable. Every ship that came near turned away, lost or broken. We didn't disappear, the girl said. We became something smaller minds could not understand, Veeler asked. So why allow us in now? Dimmed, and for the first time, a voice, not just a thought, spoke. Because the galaxy is about to break, and you will need what we have become. A warning for the Union back on the Drellin. Alarms flashed. Shar ran to the controls, receiving a message from outside Union space. Multiple systems are under attack. Known enemy. Fast. No warning. Veeler stared at the screen. Hey, so... The test wasn't just for us. It was a countdown for them. He turned to the child. Is this why you let us see you? She didn't answer directly. She simply said, you were never alone. Not even before. They were always here. The child touched her chest. The first ones are coming back. The ones we defeated. The ones who never stopped evolving. She looked up at the light-filled chamber. We waited. Not because we feared them, but because we knew you were not ready. Shar asked, ready for what? A long pause. Then the girl answered, to become more than just your body. More than ships. More than war. To become what we became. Offering the middle of the room, a glowing object rose from the floor. It pulsed gently. This is an invitation, the girl said. It's not just for you, but for your kind. One chance to link minds, to step forward. Lyra stared at the object. And if we refuse, the girl's voice turned cold. Then you will face the darkness as you are, alone. Final moments of Part 7, the team stood in silence. Around them, the chamber hummed. Outside, the galaxy was changing. Ships were dying. Systems were falling. And Earth, the new Earth, was awakening. Captain Veeler looked at the invitation, then at his crew, then at the stars. He spoke softly, almost to himself. We thought we were the explorers. But all along we were being watched and judged. The light flickered, and then everything went white. For a full minute, there was only white light, no sound, no floor, no sense of time. Then breath returned, vision returned, thought returned. The Drellan's crew stood in a different place, now floating in what looked like space, yet without ships or stars, only light and presence. 1,000 voices, calm, ancient, and full of knowing, spoke as one. You came to find us, but now you see. You were never lost. You were always part of us. You just didn't remember. Captain Velar looked around. Is this Earth? No, said the voice. This is what Earth became. A new form of humanity. They saw no people, but they felt them. Millions of minds, once human, now joined together. Not cold, not cruel, just beyond. They were everywhere and nowhere. Presence in the stars, in the energy, even in memory. We don't understand what you are, Lyra whispered. You don't need to, the voice answered. You only need to decide. Decide what? Shar asked. Whether you want to survive or evolve. The war begins. An alarm echoed from the Drellin, now distant, as if in another layer of space. Shar looked at his arm screen. Captain, enemy forces have entered Union space. 5 systems down already, no warning, no communication. Veeler stared. The enemy Earth warned us about. Yes, said the voice. We defeated them once, but only by becoming more. Can you stop them again? Lyra asked. Yes, but not for you. With you. If you accept the change? The offer, a new light appeared in front of the crew, a sphere floating in air, pulsed gently like a heart. This is the merge, a choice. You will still be yourself, but more, linked, faster, smarter, connected to us. A step beyond flesh and bone. Runo backed away. That's not life. That's something else. It's the only way to survive what's coming, Lyra said quietly. Captain Veeler stepped forward. And if we say no, you will fight alone, as you are. You will lose, as others did. The crew returned to the Drellin for one final meeting. Some were afraid, others were ready. Veeler looked at his team. We came to find answers. He said, we found something greater than we imagined. And now, we have to decide if we become part of IT or try to stand against what's coming. He paused. I will go forward. Anyone who wishes to remain fully themselves may leave. No one stood, not even Runo. The merge. Begins, the ship's lights dimmed. The merged sphere entered the bridge. Each crew member placed a hand on it. They felt warmth, not pain, not fear, but understanding, connection, power. Their minds opened. It, one by one. They saw not just Earth's past, but its future. Earth responds, across the galaxy, as war broke out. A ripple of white light spread from the old Earth sector. Enemy ships froze, planets. Under attack pulsed with sudden energy, and then new ships appeared. But they were not ships in the old sense. They were beings of light and mind, shaped like vessels. But alive at their center were the crew of the Drellin, now more than just explorers. They were part of something greater. Final message was sent to the Galactic Union. We are Earth. We were silent because you were not ready. But now we return, not to rule, not to destroy, but to lift you if you dare rise. The war ahead cannot be won with weapons. It must be won with unity, memory, and evolution. The choice is yours. Join us, or fall behind. The last seen, Captain Veeler stood at the front of the new living ship. Now glowing with energy, he no longer needed a voice to give orders. He only needed a thought, and the galaxy heard him. They finally discovered what happens in human space. And it changed everything.